our commissioner sadly had to attend to more important business as commissioners do, and we are getting ready for game 2 of level 18 and butter our biscuits. My new co-caster is going to be the co-streamer or the regular streamer for last game. Good old No Not November.
How's it going, everyone? Well, I'm hoping to see some changes from game 1 to game 2, especially by the side of level 18 to see how they can adapt their playstyles to what they faced in game 1 to keep going forward in this series and hopefully pull back a win.
Yeah. I think going into game 2, it's going to be interesting to see as we have a side swap here what both teams prioritize as they get the different pick strategy that I was talking about earlier, with the first pick priority coming from Labby's team and versus the counter pick priority coming from Butter Our Biscuit, and we'll have to see how they handle that. What do you
Yeah.
think is going to be coming out? Any picks you expect to see? What do you think strong on both sides, and what adjustments do you expect to see in the pick band?
Well, I definitely expect to see Labby on one of his comfort junglers, provided they're not banned. He's always been fairly good on like stuff like Jarvan, Lee Sin, stuff like that. So I feel like I'm gonna see probably one of those champs if they're left up. I do want to see Flydrate on that MF again if he can get it, because that was pretty nasty. Also, special shout out to that Kennen. We didn't see a whole lot of crazy action from him. Well, at least we didn't talk about all the action, but he out damaged even the Misfortune in that first game. So we'll see, what he goes with this game. See if he's going to go more of a damage champ or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think definitely seeing another Kennen pick. It's definitely one of his favorites, that's for sure. Definitely a strong pick for him as we get ready for pick ban to hopefully start here soon. Go ahead and let everybody know that we are ready.
Oh, I thought I already had. My bad.
And we're getting into it right now. So
Here we go.
level 18 with the first band coming out with, again, the Swain.
Swain, definitely a good ban. I could tell you from experience playing him pretty much exclusively the past week. He's quite strong.
Yeah, and definitely has the ability to be flexed around a little bit. He's not seen a ton in mid or top anymore, but definitely has the capability to do so.
Oh, absolutely. We're also seeing the Ilaoi ban going towards Siren. I know I see most of the time if he's doing well, he's on Ilaoi or Poppy, and those are probably his two strongest champs. And I don't blame him for banning it away, especially Ilaoi. Ilaoi's a very strong champion, has great team fighting capabilities, and it's really hard to deal with if she gets ahead.
Yeah, we have the Philios band coming out again, as it looks like they're maybe not going to adapt to this Misfortune, but definitely still one more band left. Maybe they throw it there, but there's definitely some other picks that could be left up here. As it looks
And
like
they
they prioritized
prioritized
the
the Kennen,
Kennen
yeah.
pick.
Yeah, they
Definitely very interesting.
well, they decided they really didn't want to deal with that Kennen again. I mean, shoot, I wouldn't either. He does
As the
too much
Leona
AoE
first
damage.
pick, very interesting. Again, coming back to that, they're giving away what the matchup's actually going to be, as essentially guaranteeing these free counter picks on the side of red side, when more often than not they should be kind of trying to be as flexible as possible here. As the Jarvan Misfortune lock in coming out of Bob, no surprise there. Both really high performing champs last game, and looking to see some repeated success.
Yeah, and definitely, going with what you were saying earlier about the pick ban strategy, I just want to say, I think in this the gold division especially, I think some of the most contested picks are in the bot lane. Leona, Nautilus. I know every game Nautilus is left up for me when I'm playing in the game. Most of the time they just pick it away from me first pick anyways. So there's a lot of hotly contested picks in the bot lane, more so I would say than anywhere else. And
Yeah,
that could be the
and it
reason.
looks like a Cassiopeia Kha'Zix coming out from the side of level 18. Definitely looking like they're going to have their I think mid lane support jungle, but Cassiopeia has definitely been known to show up in the bot lane as the Nautilus is picked up from the side of Bob. Was banned away first round, first ban last time. So definitely looking to see good old Biscuit Hat show up on the pick, and definitely another strong pick paired with the Misfortune. Very similar playstyle to the Leona.
Absolutely, and I will say his Nautilus is something to be feared. I'm pretty much known as a Nautilus one trick, especially, in my earlier days in this in the league. And at one point I was doing some 1v1s with Biscuit Hat on Nautilus, and
The Nautilus 1v1s. Gotta
it
love
was
those wet noodle fights. The
it
Portal
was
Combat act.
we made it a little more interesting because we both took electrocute, but but no, it was definitely really interesting. He had at the time, and especially probably still, a much deeper champ pool, and that was my one trick, and I just
Interesting
couldn't hold my
Sejuani
own.
band coming out. Hold up, sorry, from
No,
the
you're good.
Butter Our Biscuits. Considering they see the Kazakhs lock in, definitely not sure what they're scared of there. Maybe it's the Sejuani top. I don't know.
I've seen some
Poppy's banned
Sejuani
away.
top.
Ilawi's banned away. So maybe that's one of the picks that Siren's been known to pick up. So we'll have to see what level 18 does here.
You know,
Siren's definitely got some picks picked away from him, and maybe they're looking to punish that top lane again with the Jabberwock as well.
that's what I'm thinking, and now that you mention it, I do think I've seen him on the Sejuani a few times.
And with that Anivia lock in, it's definitely going to be a Cassiopeia bot lane. Very interesting. I don't see. Oh, as the Garen's coming out, definitely a strong pick right now.
Definitely.
Very overtuned champion. Way too much going on in his kit.
And one of the first ones everyone learns. So,
and is just insanely strong. Very simple, very easy to pick up, and definitely a lane bully too. So definitely going to be looking to see him get a lead against Jabberwock, and we'll have to see what Jabberwock has with his Kennen banned away to deal with him. And you know what he plays? I'm pretty sure that's actually pretty troll, but also amazing. Oh, never mind. I was going to say Teemo.
Teemo.
I was going to say
Teemo
the
into
Teemo Garen matchup too good.
Interesting.
But
haven't seen that matchup too many times.
Mordekaiser definitely a strong champion himself right now. Pretty good against these kind of like all-in type juggernauts. And we'll have to see what happens here as both teams are locked in. Definitely a lot of magic damage coming out of the side of level 18, but really nobody on the side of Butter Our Biscuits to really just stack a crap ton of magic resist and just take anti-damage from the side of level 18. So
the only reason I want to disagree is I'll say the Nautilus is more than likely going to take the stone plate first item. That's what I would definitely do in this. And honestly, the way I build Nautilus, I would be building lots and lots of magic resist as early as I can, especially laning into a Cassiopeia. She just pipes out damage way too quickly for you to not be doing that.
I'm not saying that Nautilus isn't going to build magic resist or that Jarvan build magic resist, but it's a big difference between like a top laner, Maokai or Galio, or somebody who has the ability of a
that's definitely true
solo farm income building a crap ton of magic resist versus a Nautilus who's going to be building kind of like those in between support items that also happen to have some magic resist.
Do you think we're going to see the Mordekaiser build a little bit more on the safe side this game because of the team comp that they're going into?
Nah. Mordekaiser, I don't like the tank Mordekaiser stuff. I think Mordekaiser is just one of those champs that has so much innate tankiness with his shield that straying away from the the Morello Nashers and Haunting Guys upgraded is called
help me
out
here. Shit, what is that called? Leandry's Torment.
Leandry's, yeah.
I've been building that on Swain a lot.
Yeah, the Leandry's Torment is just such a strong combination of both just ton of health, like really good damages along with his passive, and it just makes him a nightmare to deal with because you can't kill him and he just kills you, and
that's
it's just
true.
like, why does this exist in the game? I'm just like really tired of it, Riot. Tanks should not be able to deal this much damage while building full damage.
Yeah, it's
Unacceptable.
and still being that tanky too. Like that's
Exactly.
the huge thing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you there. And but I'm wondering if all that extra health is gonna be enough. Instead of the resistances,
It's true. You
just
do
build big.
have the Anivia and Cassiopeia on the side of level 18. Both really strong DPS, lots of health ticking damages. Both of them probably going to build Meandries. So both of them going to be able to deal with that high health champion. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But definitely, I think some interesting comps coming out of both sides. I think this one is definitely going to be a big execution base, but that misfortune again is just so strong, and I'm the way that the bot lane played last game. I think I got to give it the advantage over to Butter or Biscuits.
Yeah, I think so as well. I am seeing though fairly interesting. I see Fust is picking up the Garen. I wonder if they're swapping, or maybe they're just playing some tricks in pick ban. Who knows?
Definitely a chance here. I mean, Siren Delphi. I don't know if he plays Cassiopeia, but it maybe is the biggest bait of our lives, and definitely an interesting way to potentially deal with what was a relatively rough matchup for Siren Delphi last game, as he maybe wants to try and avoid the uh, Jabberwock matchup.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, nope, there it is. Wait,
Oh,
interesting. Oh, they're playing tricks. I see.
oh man,
They've got 13 more
MF
seconds to do
Shadow
so.
potentially on the Garen, as there's lots of swapping around going on here, trying to mess with people's brains.
Yep. Well, we'll
Gonna mess
see.
with only things kept consistent so far is Labby, but it looks like we're gonna have that locked in here as we crest the 10-second mark, as nobody is allowed to swap, and we're gonna have the Siren Delphi on Leona with the Cassiopeia on Fustus and MF Shadow going up against Jabberwock on that Garen.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the team handles swapping roles like this. I haven't watched all of their games, but I don't believe they've gone with this layout of players in different positions in a game before.
Yeah, I cannot personally attest to that, but Butter Our Biscuits won last game. It is 1-0 their favor as we go into game 2 here, and we'll have to see what happens.
Yes. Sorry to should mention that I don't have all the nice, pretty overlays that everyone else normally has when they stream.
I
So
don't have the overlays, but I do have chat open up on the left-hand side of my screen, or my left-hand monitor here. So
oh,
if you have any questions, chat, I will do my best to look at it.
perks of
And
having a second monitor. I see.
definitely very true. So chat, who is gonna win? Hashtag BOB or hashtag LV18? Anybody? How many people we got watching right now?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find the
14.
stream.
Hashtag level 18 coming out of Horn Hodor Nation. And then Kurtz thinks that BOB is gonna win. So we got a dead heat tie right now. There's 14 people, 15 people in the chat. You can do better than this. 2 people voting is not enough.
Definitely not. Definitely not. No pun intended.
I apologize, Hodor Nation. I cannot read apparently, so
Jeez.
Oh, and I gotta mention Blue Flames 96, whoever that is. Thank you for the 7 months to the channel subscription.
7 months.
Yep.
If I paid for
Because there's
Twitch,
this
I would
little
be there
known
too.
thing called Twitch Prime. And if you did not know, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. And you can subscribe for free to one of your favorite content creators, Cough Cough PMALCS, every month for free. Absolutely free. And let me know. I know all you guys have Amazon Prime, so the fact that we don't have all of you subscribe to us is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm gonna ban you all.
Banned, mod abuse. All right, so right here, just about to go into this game. What are you looking for as a win condition for either team?
This is definitely both of them have some interesting comps. Not super clear as like last game where we had two assassins versus very clear death ball type team fight, but I think there's still definitely looking to team fight on the side of Butter Our Biscuits. While not every single champion is super just like go all in crazy kill everybody type of thing, as last game, they definitely still have it with the core of Jarvan, Misfortune, and Nautilus. But I think they're gonna probably try and play it out very similar to the last one. But level 18 definitely has, I think, a better comp this time to deal with it. With the Cassiopeia ultimates, as well as the Nivea walls and Zoni tools with her ultimates, it's going to be a lot harder to try and run through these fights like they did last time. But then again, Misfortune can just kind of win fights from, a long enough range away from both of those abilities that she doesn't really have to fight through those big zoning tools. It's definitely going to be about whether or not she gets big enough ultimates off before front line just kind of gets melted. But we're going to pause here 10 seconds.
Yep.
Alrighty. Look at that Hodor Nation subscribing. My man, you are not banned. I love it. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm at 10 seconds.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1.
Go. All right. I agree. I'm hoping to see one of my favorite things about specifically this bot lane matchup is that I like holding that Leona ult until the very second I see Misfortune ulting, and then I just ult on top of her and she can't. It just interrupts it. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing, as you were saying with the Anivia walls, and just Garen being a big ass tank in the front. They're going to have the power to disrupt these big team fights and to drag them out and to stop the.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting ultimate usage, and I think it's just kind of like one of those patience games, right? Because you can't like hold on to your Juice Man or Jabberwock is just like killing your backline, right?
Absolutely.
And it's also just kind of like one of those things whereas like you also can't just like hold on to your MF ultimate waiting until like Leona blows hers. It's just kind of like one of those things where whoever uses it first potentially just loses.
Right. It's definitely
and it's on the rest of the team to try and the other person to use it first.
Exactly. It's definitely mind games with this matchup, and it's one of my favorites to play. Just because it's fun messing with people's heads.
Yeah, for sure. And again, thank you, Hoarder Nation, the subscription. Yes, I will cry about it. I will continue to cry about it because we need money.
So a much more docile start to the game this game than we had last game.
Yeah, definitely no skirmishes in the but yeah. How do you think these lanes are going to play out, knowing the bot lane matchup here that we're looking at right now?
I'm looking at Butter Our Biscuits, to be honest. I think they've got this one. They have the Misfortune again. They've got a really beefy tank. Leona is definitely tankier, but Nautilus has got so much CC built into his kit that
was a flash coming out of MF Shadow in the top lane. There's also a level 2 rush here. Well done again by the side of Butter Our Biscuits.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely see Butter Our Biscuits, I think, winning this bot lane, just because not only do I think they have the better two champion combo, but I think having a less experienced support in the bot lane is really going to hurt level 18.
Definitely. And Symphonia John, thank you for the 3-month subscription with Twitch Prime. And again, for those of you who are joining us from either another game or logging on now, if you aren't aware, Twitch Prime is a wonderful service where you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and allows you to subscribe for free to your favorite Twitch content creators like the PMA LCS. And if you want to support us and the players, please do subscribe. And Hoagie, to address your comment, yes, indeed, we do have a Cassiopeia bot.
Yeah, it's definitely strong. I know me and Hero have ran that combination several times and done really well on it.
There's an all-ins coming out from MF Shadow, but a good trade back coming from Jabberwock.
Yeah, it was definitely a very good trade there. I think did I? Yeah, okay. I was just making sure I had everyone in the right place.
Oh, but we got a gank coming out of Kazakhs, and the Mordekaiser is just silenced for Garen and can't even flash away as the burst coming out from both those champions. It's just too much during that CC.
Yeah, the first blood's going over to MF Shadow. Oh. Stop at 4 minutes 10 seconds. My stream just lagged.
Okay. I am there.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Sorry, that happened last game and it was off for about 3 minutes and it was very disorienting.
Yeah.
Hearing you cast 5 seconds in the future. So one of the things I will say though that level 18's bot lane has going for them is having such a short cooldown on the Leona Q for that CC. It's gonna
but there's a hook landing as we pause on that for a second. But Ignite dropping down on Siren, and he's going in, and it looks like there may be a pickup on the first blood, and the Butter Our Biscuits is or not first blood, but a kill in the bot lane is a flash forward on a great hook landed as both definitely a double kill going to Nautilus. Isn't what you want to see, but good skirmish coming out of the side of Butter Our Biscuits as they recognize that they have the better all in, and Summoner's blown on both sides, but it comes out as a 2 for nothing as Jabberwock is just pushing around this Garen, even though he did die to the Kazakhs as well.
Yeah, that was exactly how I would have played that on Nautilus, and it's almost scary to see that,
Hold up. Hodor gifting the 6 subs to our channel. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Definitely
wow.
really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So definitely
guy.
giving it out to definitely a couple of the other brothers chilling in the chat. So thank you so much. Really appreciate the support.
Yeah, what an awesome guy. But yeah, as I was saying, that's exactly how I would have played that with the Nautilus. One of my favorite things to do is just flash hooking forward. It's very greedy, very very greedy, but very worth it for the ego when it pays off.
Yeah, there's a level 6 advantage on the side of Jabberwock. Surprised he didn't ult MF Shadow right away as he landed that hook. Definitely interesting, but getting a good trade. I think Garen's probably going to hit 6 here soon himself.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably with the way that Jabberwock is playing, Garen's hoping to see some jungle action up there as maybe Kazakhs looks for a repeat gank in that lane.
It would be really good for him to be up there, but it looks like he's in the bot side right now. We'll see when he makes his way back up. Although I will say,
yeah, that's another great trade coming out from Jabberwock as he just lands these hooks that realistically you should be trying to dodge kind of like left and right, almost like when you get hit by Aatrox versus trying to dodge back. It's definitely a difficult skill shot to outrun.
Absolutely, and it's definitely. I think what I was gonna say a moment ago is I think it was.
God. Sorry, Neil the Steel coming back 4 months. Twitch Prime, my man, knows what's up. Using the best service alive to give us the support that we need. Send us your energy.
What a guy. Yeah, so I think it was actually smart for Mordekaiser to hold his ult up there when you said he maybe should have used it, because I think the edge of the Death Realm still would have put him under the tower range.
Okay, potentially. Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know that super well. There's an all-in half bot lane, and MF is getting locked down, but definitely just standing there strong, knowing that she has the damage, but a trade kill coming out with the poison damage coming from
and we're gonna see a 4-0 Nautilus. We're gonna see a 4-0 Nautilus.
Scrap all I said earlier about Nautilus being limited cash flow, because he's got 4 kills. My man's could straight up build all the MR he wants to.
Surprisingly, though, we see a Kindle Gem.
I think he's probably going to be going for Knight's Vow is what I would expect to see coming out from him. But maybe he just is sitting on that for the cooldown reduction. Maybe he goes into the Giants, or no, the what's the health item you were talking about earlier? Why am I drawing a blank on his name that you might buy early?
What?
the active item that gives you a bunch of health.
Oh, Gargoyle Stone Plate.
Yeah, Gargoyle Stone Plate. But
Yeah.
maybe he will pick that up, but he gets Merc Treads instead with his fat check.
Yeah, Merc Treads
Which,
are definitely going to be
understand.
good into that Leona. However, I would have liked to see, I don't know, that refillable potion's a little interesting to me, especially having biscuits in his runes. I don't think it's necessary, but you know, he's ahead.
Maybe
He
he
can
just
spend the
kind of
gold
had
how
like
he wants.
150 gold and had both of those things already. But Dragon going down is a gang going to be traded up top and grabs him in the death realm. Very smart play from Jabberwock to understand that separating these two is the play to go as he gets under tower, but they go for the dive anyways. Labby looks like he's going to trade his life back, and unfortunate that the 2v1 ends up being traded for a 1v1. Definitely well played by Jabberwock.
Absolutely.
Absorbing a lot of pressure coming out from Labby is just auto attack down on Siren as he's just getting ulted and locked up by this MF, and they go back in, but a good dodge from Siren, but he's sitting on top of the grounded, and that's just a ton of damage coming out from Cassiopeia. She's probably going to be able to turn this for a double kill potentially. But Biscuit Hat is definitely strong enough to just walk away from this. Definitely really good, but an all-in coming out from the Fling Panda as well, going on to this Anivia, but Anivia just stacks a lot of health, and it's really tough for the Malzahar to try and punch through that in an all-out trade, and Anivia just kind of goes back to doing what Anivia does and wave clearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, going back to this fight in the bot lane, it was really well done getting that kill for level 18. However, in my opinion, I think if Biscuit Hat had opted for some MR instead of that Kindle Gem, he may have been able to turn that around and kill the Cassiopeia.
I think the bigger thing that would have turned that is Flydrate is ulting really early before any of these CC abilities are used. And that is like what we were talking about earlier. Like, even though they're catching out a level 5 Siren Delphi, he's a tanky enough boy that he can just turn around and lock down and interrupt the alt channel, which gives Cassiopeia like free reign to just kind of like walk up and start DPSing this Misfortune. And in the like the DPS trade of like Misfortune with no ultimate versus Cassiopeia
Cass wins every day.
Every time.
Every day.
So.
And that's the thing with the Leona into Misfortune match is, you know, it's not just your ult that's going to interrupt, you know, her ult. It's, you can also just EQ in. Is it a lot more dangerous? Absolutely. Takes some balls to do so, but honestly, sometimes that's what you got to do. And
yeah,
it worked
for sure.
out for their favor this time.
Yeah, I mean, getting a 1-for-1 when you're behind is always beneficial.
It's always
because
beneficial.
Because what you're doing is you're forcing the enemy team who's ahead to use resources that they wouldn't necessarily have to do, and you get an influx of cash yourself. So definitely a good play. We'll have to see how the bot lane continues.
Absolutely. Although there's 5 kills over on the side of Bob. Oh, and a gank coming in from Labby.
It's the ultimate coming out from Jabberwock again as he just locks Labby under turn and gets the trade kill again, and definitely really interesting and well played by Jabberwock.
Absolutely. He's been utilizing that Mordekaiser ult really well. Oh, we see the ult coming down the Misfortune, and it looks like she might go down here. Oh, they have gank assistance coming back in.
Good use of, again, those kind of like flashes, but the hook coming out definitely.
Very ballsy.
Didn't want to see that, but it looks like the Rift Herald play in the bot lane is definitely going to net them first tower here, as it should look to just immediately kill it as they get it low enough. But
absolutely,
definitely opportunistic out of Siren.
I think that hook was more of an intimidation tactic than anything, just to say back
like,
off.
I don't care about you.
Back off from this Rift Herald. It's taking the tower whether you like it or not, and it worked. You know, and it's going to get that second charge on the inner, and it's going to give a huge lead over to that bot lane.
As there's a trade happening in the top lane too. It's a little bit of a wet noodle fight, but more of like a bruiser fight. As looks like Jabberwock may be rushing the Nashes right away.
Yeah, that's definitely looks like what he's doing. He's got. They're very even in gold in the top lane. It looks like. The game is only about a 2k gold lead on the side of Butter or Biscuits, and most of that looks like it's in the bot lane, honestly, with this 4-0 Nautilus.
What is this? What is this highlight my message? I don't get it. Is that like part of like being like a sub or something?
Huh.
Never seen it. Either way. Oh, as we got an all-in coming out here from Siren Delphi. Definitely immediately regrets his decision and backs up
Yeah.
here.
That's the good thing with Leona, though. She's tanky enough that she really doesn't lose much from that. A little bit of mana, but all her spells are so cheap for mana anyways. That's why I never run Biscuits on her, because you never really have mana problems.
Oh, and there's a tower shot getting tanking from Jabberwock here. As he good time shield, but is definitely too low to be able to take this fight. As MF Shadow is now on a killing spree and definitely taking advantage of his jungler, sacrificing his life to give him some kills. There's an all-in on Fusus, but immediately flashed. Well timed to avoid the damage as well as the CC. As Dragon is up here, but a hook missed by Biscuit Hat as they try and set up for this Dragon.
Yeah, pause at top 14, stream lagged again.
Okay. Boop. Did it.
Okay, I was 1 second behind. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it looks like
Dragon started up here by the side of Butter Our Biscuits as Siren Delphi's in the pit and is threatening kind of like an all-in. And I definitely understand why. They have numbers advantage. TP coming out from the side of Fleeing Panda, and it looks like they are definitely going in here with the good lockup from Butter Our Biscuits. As Siren Delphi's just a little bit too far forward with the home guard Fleeing Panda coming in. Or not the home guard, but at least the TP speed is a flash in steal attempt from Labby goes Arise. He gives up his life and baits in his mid lane or two here potentially as she goes down into egg, and this is definitely going to be a kill for side of Butter Our Biscuits as they get 3 kills in a dragon, and that definitely swings the gold lead in this game in their favor for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a 3,000 gold lead at this point. That was a really well played fight for them. They started off at a disadvantage. You know, it was a 3v4, and they did a really good job of kiting it back and waiting for that TP to come down, and it really paid off for them.
For sure, and Siren definitely, again, just maybe, I don't know if they had vision of the TP, but stepping up when clearly the rest of his team's trying to back up, gave them a free kill on the side of Butter Our Biscuits, which honestly should have triggered the rest of the team to back off, and maybe Labby goes for a steal, but Garen's looking to maybe 1v1 this OG Juice Man, but he just gets out.
Yeah, I mean, this Garen's 3-0. It looks like a really good decision. Oh, and that long-range hook! That was such a good hook from Biscuit Hat. Wow.
Oh, but a big ultimate coming out of Fusus as he tries to step forward, but just gets smacked down and put in his places. As Jabberwock is 1v1ing or 2v1ing in the top lane. The Nashor's Rust almost picking up 2 kills.
That was really close. He almost had him. And the Anivia passes down
too,
so
coming out from OG
kill.
Juice Man. Recognize that Anivia didn't have her passive, and well played, but I don't know why they're backing up here. They literally just killed everybody on the enemy team. They could take that turret.
Yeah, they could. I think they're just trying to play it safe because, you know... Oh, and a good turn by Labby.
Yeah, with the miss on the Jarvan, well played by Labby, understanding that going into stealth and coming out and getting the Q auto definitely going to have enough damage on Juice Man.
Yeah, and it looks like switching MF Shadow to this Garen top is really starting to pay off for level 18. You know, they're behind, yes, but that top lane difference is really what's holding them still in this game. Also, the fact that Nautilus has 6 kills and a lot of the gold is on the support instead of on the carries.
Holy crap, you're right. There is almost there's a 2,500 gold lead between these supports right now.
It's
because
insane.
of those 6 kills.
Insane.
That is over half the gold lead in the game is on the support, which is not something you ideally want to see.
Right, and another looks like 1,800 of it is on the ADC, so most of their lead is in the bot lane. Once again, this game.
Oh, as the ultimate comes out on top of Garen, and he's just kind of isolated by himself. And good pick coming from the side of Butter and Biscuits, recognizing with their strong jungle vision here in the enemy jungle. Garen was definitely caught out as they try and siege down this mid lane turret, but
and it looks
definitely
like it's
a
gonna
difficult
be enough
task considering.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be enough for them to take the Herald, though. They're taking the Herald while they're just holding some pressure mid so they can't respond.
So it's going to be the second Rift Herald in the game, right?
I think so, yeah, because they dropped the first one bot and it got the 2 charges off.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you're looking at level 18 side, how do they get back into this? Because it's not completely out of reach at this point. I think they have a decently strong top laner and a strong Cassiopeia. So how do they play?
I think the Leona has to play a bit more passively. I think Siren needs to focus specifically on peeling for the Cassiopeia, since she's such a DPS champion. She needs time to get her damage out, and you just have to give that to her. And Leona's really good about doing that. Additionally,
Okay.
I think they need to funnel a
Is
lot of
this
their gold resources into this Garen because he's
There's
ahead.
a lot of damage on a Leona with her W up.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot. But and then
Get
getting
Misfortune showing up this game.
absolutely, absolutely for the second game in a row, Flydrate on the Misfortune is really just looking great. Who
I think
says
Coder
ADCs
Nation, you're
can't
right.
get?
Not dying definitely does help win the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. They just need to slow the pace of the game down, and a lot of that has to do with Siren is just trying to go in and trying to be the front line when sometimes, yeah, you're the tank, but you also have to peel. And it is something that even I, as a support main, I still struggle with making that adaptation myself. But from this perspective, it's a lot easier to see, just back off sometimes.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think they've drafted a lot of strong wave clear with Anivia and Cassiopeia both having pretty decent ability to shove waves and prevent them from crashing into turrets.
Does Garen's spin not push hard? I don't know. I've never played him.
It does, but it's not safe.
Oh, that
So
makes
like
yeah.
if you're getting sieged down, you're not gonna like
Spin
in the
into
middle of the wave,
That's
right?
true. That's
So,
true.
but it looks like Siren may be caught out here as an ultimate coming down is the full combo and definitely lots of damage, but more of a zoning tool to pick up that turret.
Yeah, that
Or
was
the dragon, not
that
turret.
was big damage, and I'm a little shocked at Siren's build here. It looks like he's going for the Zeke's convergence early, and the Moby boots. I definitely would have gone for.
Oh, there's an all-in coming from Jabberwock, feeling the all-in with the level advantage as well as the item advantage now, but doesn't kill him in the death realm, but definitely has the ability to pick up the solo kill. Garen,
Yeah.
well played.
All right. What time are you at? I just lagged again.
Yeah, I'm at 20. But there's an all-in happening right now in the mid lane. And, it looks like going for an all-in on the Biscuit, their tankiest member. Not something you'd like to see as it's just immediately turned back around as OG Juiceman is flashing on top of the Anivia, getting almost shut down himself, but pretty decently scrappy fight as it turns out to be just a 1-for-0, but started by level 18. Not what you want to see considering you probably want them to just tunnel onto these turrets with the Anivia wave clear.
Yeah, I think that stop at 21 minutes also. I think that engage onto the Nautilus was really not the call there. He's too tanky. He's got so much gold on him. He has so many defensive items. You're just not gonna kill him fast enough.
All right, I'm at 21.
Okay, I was about 10 seconds behind. That was odd.
Gotcha.
And there, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and as I was saying a bit ago, it looks like I was right. The Leona's starting with the Zeke's convergence, and while that does give really good. Oh, we have an engage going in the top jungle.
Yeah, but it's a 3v1, but maybe with the healing, but the isolation damage coming out and just down. It's Mordekaiser from the Labby as he's pretty strong this game comparatively to the last one.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot more damage going for him, and I think the Mordekaiser shouldn't have taken that engage. But yeah, as I was saying, I like the Gargoyle Stone Plate a lot more than I like the Zeke's, because although, yeah, it does give you mana, whereas the Gargoyle Stone Plate does not, a lot of this game is turning into team fights, which, welcome to PMA LCS.
Yeah, as a pick coming out on the Siren as he's trying to clear a ward, is a Misfortune all channeled a little bit early as Garen's just kind of spinning to win on top of her. She's trying to run away, and the
early
ultimate
ult
barely doesn't kill her. But Biscuit's in a tough situation as OG Juiceman comes out to peel away his top laner as they just kind of walk away with the trade again on Siren Delphi. He's
Jabberwock's
now
coming in real
0-8
quick.
as Jabberwock's coming in for the pull. It lands it onto the Anivia as there's an ultimate coming down on top of her without any additional damage. She's kind of stuck in there and goes into egg form, and it's definitely going to be a kill, but Cassiopeia is kind of showing up and decided to just back away immediately. And it's a pretty scrappy fight, ends up being just a 2-for-0 for the side of Butter or Biscuits.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little rough for them at one point, but they were just able to, use their lead, and once again, they're just slapping them with their wallets. The gold advantage is over 5,000 at this point. And it's just
It's over 5,000.
right. I was thinking the same thing, but You know, it just looks like it might be too much for level 18. You know, they're pretty behind, and it doesn't look like they're changing the way that they're approaching the game appropriately.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's so with the I think probably a big thing is the lack of like adapting their play. They keep going for these all-ins even though they're behind. So what do you, if you're in the comms right now of Labby's level 18? Oh, but we have a fight coming out here as Hook onto Labby just immediately gets blown up and Biscuit Hat goes godlike.
You better not get shut down, boy.
As the Jabberwock is running amok in the backline and almost getting another pull onto the Anivia, which would have most certainly been a kill, but a good dodge from Apocalypse. This is a 4 for 0 for Butter or Biscuits as again, Biscuit Hat is just popping off with some great hooks coming on from the Nautilus.
Absolutely, we see shutdown gold on 4 of the members, including 1,000 gold for whoever can kill this tanky Nautilus. One of the biggest things, though, that I hate about being in this position, because I've played so many games of Nautilus and I've been here before. And the hardest thing about being in this position, you're godlike and you feel great, you're tanky as hell, but what happens when you get low? You can't do your job as a support and go in and just get that last little bit of CC out in the fight before you die, and maybe that's the turning point. Luckily, Butter or Biscuits didn't need it, but when you get that low and you've got 1,000 gold on your head, you have to back off. You can't give that over the other team, and it's a really hard thing. It's one of the disadvantages.
As OG Juiceman gets caught being a little bit greedy, fishing by himself against relatively fed Kha'Zix, as Kha'Zix just jumps out of the pit of the hook as they set up for a Dragon Pit here. As a pick comes out on a Fly Drain, well done from a clutch ultimate right on top of him. As looks like this is a big fight, but Jabberwock yoinks the 2 carries, but immediately gets stunned up from the Cassiopeia ultimate as Cassio is just doing her best to kite him around as 3 people are waiting for him to come out, but if he has this but again, the Butter Biscuit Hat just doesn't go down, but it ends up being a 3 for 1 as the level 18 turns around for this dragon.
Yeah, this is definitely, if level 18 wins this game, I would say, I'm going to predict that this right here, that play was the turning point. That's the kind of plays that they need. That was the perfect usage of that Leona ult,
Right on top of 2 carries. That was clutch.
Exactly, and she wasn't looking to turn around and ult you. Even though her ult is up, she's looking to run, and so that's when you don't have to worry about what if she ults after.
Oh, as it looks like they're going for the dive here with Labby in the backline, definitely understanding that they have a lot of damage. Definitely, again, that's the second time OG Juiceman is showing up with a little bit overestimating his tankiness, and it just puts down. But a good heads-up play from Flydrake to understand that he has the damage to make it at least a 1 for 1.
Yeah, definitely.
And these are definitely the plays you like to see out of level 18. Understanding that when they have man advantage, they want to take advantage of it. So
yeah,
well
absolutely. Done. And it looks like they're looking to sort of just get out and get some resets off and spend the gold that they've gotten from those that fight. And I think they're still in it. It's 7,000 gold lead, 6,000 now. But that doesn't mean that the game is over. They've got a dragon. They kept Butter or Biscuits from getting the soul, which is really paramount. And just keeping that Elder Drake just a little further away, because it doesn't seem like they're in the position to really make a good play for Elder, and you really don't want Butter or Biscuits having it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, and it looks like Nivea's stealing the blue buff.
Secure. Jabberwock just takes Garen right into the death realm. And it looks like he may have the damage here as 3 other people are waiting, but if he doesn't kill him here, he doesn't get the extra stats, but he has the extra stats, has his big shield. Oh, but he double clicks it and goes right into health, but is able to stay alive as there's a 1v1 happening here on the side with Juiceman on the Cassiopeia as Flydrake picks up the kill as Labby goes down. But a good clutch flash hook to pick up the triple kill for Flydrake, and a really well played fight. Started out with a solid heads up play from Jabberwock, understanding that he has the ability to just isolate this Garen and take him down before he gets out of the Death Realm, and really doing a great job there to make that fight happen.
What I want to know is, did he know his team was coming, or did he get really lucky? Because if his team was not there, that was not how that
Oh,
was
but
going to
Biscuit
go.
Hat is just slapping around Egg ends up giving them basically the ace, but as well as Baron.
Yeah, and we've got this 7-0 Nautilus, but I mean you've got Miss Fortune's 9-3 now. She's picked up almost all the kills from those last two fights, and it really is putting her even further and further ahead. I'm excited to see what the damage charts look like at the end of this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one. I think because Jabberwock has just been fighting nonstop, especially against relatively high health target of Garen. He's got a chance of being up there, as well as some of these AOE passive procs that he's been getting when people are trying to like 2v1 him or anything like that. So it's going to be close between him and I think Misfortune.
Yeah, it'll be close, and we'll just have to see. It looks like we've got an engage
Oh, but a big
happening.
hook on the Labyrinth, but a good ultimate to stop the follow-up from Biscuit Hat coming out as he just jumps away and is forced the ultimate away from with just a single hook from Biscuit Hat, who's a very big boy.
See,
It's
a little
big
bit
ultimate
early.
for Misfortune.
A little
But
early
good
though, I would
ultimate,
say.
stunning him up as OG Juiceman's just kind of caught in the middle of the Nivea ultimate as ultimate coming out on boosted slits on both the carries. A huge ultimate for Biscuit Hat, who is just massive with that gargoyle stun plate, takes absolutely no damage. Well done to pick up a kill on Diffustus, and we have the Baron buff, 2 cannons in the top lane as well.
Yeah, and it looks like that tower is just gonna go down. Oh,
It looks like Labby's showing up to try and get a kill, but he's got 3 levels down on this Jabberwock.
Oh,
Does
that
all
damage!
of the health bar with
Whoa!
just one Q. Comes out of the Delth realm, ready to just scrap with this MF Shadow Garen, as well as who's going back in. Interestingly, after
That was a little
doing
questionable.
it, picks up the double kill on the side of Shadow or on the Jabberwock, even though probably had the escape if he just kind of ran away there.
Yeah, I definitely would not have gone back in, because now it looks like that Infernal Soul's gonna go over to Butter Our Biscuits with absolutely no contest from level 18.
But ultimate coming out, good thing, stun, understanding the fact that they have a ton of CC and damage, shut down the top lane. Well played, understanding that they're not going to be able to contest this dragon, but maybe they can at least shut down this top laner.
Take what you can. When you're
Exactly.
behind, you take what you can. And it looks like the Infernal Soul's finally gonna go down. Felt like that should have been down a little while ago. I wonder what they were doing.
Well, it had just spawned, and they're
Oh, it
waiting
wasn't
a
up.
little bit to. Yeah, it
Oh.
had just spawned, so they had ton of vision in the bot side jungle. They were just, and then when they hard committed top lane, they were just like, okay, this is free.
And
They
that's
took
one
it.
of the biggest things that's been their advantage this game is just, at any point throughout this match, I've looked at the minimap, and Butter Hibiscus has wards all over the enemy jungle, and it's really going to their advantage. Vision is probably one of the top 3 things to winning a game, especially in this elo.
Yeah, especially since people love to just face check as Garen is surrounded by 3 people. All the dragon flash on MM, he is just caught out as 2 ultimates committed for this Garen. Maybe a little bit too much considering he's probably dead, but that is a big fat auto from Flydrate dealing with Garen's health as he just goes down.
Yeah, it looks like she's critting for 773 damage every time she crits. And I'm not
With the
as
double passive, she's
familiar.
gonna chunk these people, especially with the Infernal Drake Soul.
Absolutely,
Definitely
she's
not
just
something you want to see from her.
dishing out way too much damage right now. Like it's gonna be very hard to deal with. I think the only thing you can really do is hope that you get a good Leona engage, and hope for some reason Flydrate is frontlining.
Yeah, and with the 3 BF sword build now with the IE, Essence Reaver, and Bloodthirster, she has a crap ton of AD, a large amount of crit, and her ultimates are just gonna eviscerate these team fights.
Absolutely. I don't know if there's much that level 18 is going to be able to do.
Oh,
See
it's
this
Siren
Leona
Duffy's
engage.
just going in the middle of the team as there's a just kind of just forced to flash out immediately, but a ultimate coming out from Biscuit is a lot of damage coming out from the side of level 18 as well, and there being almost 3 kills coming down on the side, but it's probably because it was just a 4v5 with Jabberwock just split pushing in the bot lane here.
I mean, yeah, he's just able. I think this gold lead is now it looks like 12,000. It's a 12,000 gold lead over on the side of Butter Our Biscuits, and
Oh, but he's a level 18 Mouse or Mordekaiser who doesn't care about any of y'all, can just drag
he's
someone into
standing
Death
there.
Realm and just take no damage and kill all of you because, like we said before, 200 years, fair and balanced.
Absolutely. I mean, he's level 18. He's got 3 full items, lots of magic resist, and you're just not going to be doing damage to him.
Oh,
Not
as
today.
Labby has found out here with his GA pop tier right as Baron's about to spawn. Definitely not where you want to be.
Absolutely.
Even though that's your own jungle, it's not your own jungle anymore with 12,000 deficit.
Not with a 12,000 deficit, and not with the mid inhib down. You're all of your lanes are pushed down to at least the inhib towers. You
Yes,
got
Jabberwock, you're strong, but you're also like by yourself.
Yeah, I was a little questionable, but it looks like he's gonna pull enough pressure for them to get this Baron uncontested, which is maybe what they were going for. I'm sure
Yeah.
if they were in comms, they probably made that decision for him to give his life there.
Yeah, as he picks up now the adaptive helm after his 3 core damage items is very strong and going to be pretty much impossible for anybody to punch through, especially with Anivia and Cassiopeia really relying on those repeated spell procs.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just gonna make it that much harder for him to
But we
kill.
got a
It looks like
disconnect
we
from the
got a
side of Flag
pause
Rate.
coming
Probably
in.
gonna have a.
And we've got the pause coming in. Wouldn't be PMA LCS without one.
Um. So Hoagie, explain to me why is Rylai's better than Rod of Ages?
Slowing people, obviously.
True, but I want to hear it from the resident Cassiopeia main who decided to pick up that champion for the sole purpose of playing mid lane this split. I'm ready. I'm ready. Give it to me, Hoagie. I'm sure he's typing something out.
Probably,
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay, Twin Fang, super spammable. So just keep slowing. But like when it
What's the
having more
cool?
mana.
Is there a cooldown on the slow from Rylai's?
No.
So it's just anytime you hit something, you slow.
Yep. It depends. So there's the only difference that Rylai's determines is AoE versus single target. Single
Right.
target damage is more effective than AoE. That's all.
Right. Which Twin Fangs is a single target, so it's
Yep.
it's a really good item for that.
So it's specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 E's. So you're supposed to Q and then E 12 times.
And then by that time your
then
Q's
Q
back
again.
up. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you should be okay. Got it.
I mean, with like a point, what is it, a 0.75 second cooldown on her Twin Fangs, like it's kind of crazy. Lots and lots of damage. So yeah, I see that adaptive helm for the Mordekaiser and also for the Nautilus.
Definitely smart pickups against this team.
Absolutely.
With 2 Leandries built, 2 like multiple procking type champions with the ultimate from Nivea and the Q and E from Cassiopeia.
I'm curious if you know this is kind of an irrelevant question because she's 10-3, so it really doesn't matter that much. But if the misfortune, I'm curious if she would have benefited very much from building like a Hex Drinker or something like that, just to get some more MR.
Potentially, but I think the BF sword does a good job of keeping her healthy away from the poke because they're having a really hard time of getting any Anivia or Cassiopeia damage on her in the first place. The only time that I think she's ever gonna have that being an issue is if it's just like a straight Q that Cassiopeia lands on her, and she
Yeah,
just like autos the health back up.
Yeah, true, because Butter Our Biscuits is doing a very good job of frontlining for that misfortune to just get her damage off from the back.
Absolutely.
I hear some chat, and I have it
I see some
turned
chat, but I don't
off.
see.
Oh, I don't see any readies. I wonder what happened.
Apparently there's some internet issues. They have been
Internet
in contact
issues.
with said individual, but they have not said that it is going to be fixed just yet.
Interesting. I was curious because I've personally been having an issue with the 200 years of game development crashing, just randomly alt tabbing me out and crashing the client, or doing like the attempting to reconnect indefinitely until I alt tab out, close the client, and relog.
Well,
But
you see, they're gonna fix their client apparently here
oh
soon. They have a
well,
client team finally.
well let's hope, because let's put that
But
200
if
years to
they
good use instead
fixed
of more
it
luck
anything
skins.
like they fixed Aatrox or fixed Zoe, fixed Yumi, or fixed
Or fixed
you know,
Aphelios, or fixed
or
Senna.
fixed
Like I've played Senna after her nerfs, and she still scales super fast. I think what they should have done, if they really wanted to nerf that champion, would be they needed to.
not make her scale with damage and utility. It's unacceptable that she can just build damage and then also gain a shit ton of utility from the damage. Every other champ in the game has to make a choice. Do I
Right.
get utility items to have utility, or do I get damage? Not fucking both.
True as that may be, what they did with this most previous nerf is they reduced each soul from 1 AD to 0.75, but they
Uh-huh.
didn't do anything in the way of reducing when the crit scales, when the attack range
Okay.
scales. And so I
Sure.
think the better nerf would be not just nerfing the souls, but also
Uh-huh.
nerfing, saying it's not every 20 souls you get the crit and the attack range. It's every 20 damage from souls you get it.
Gotcha.
So further
But we
nerfing her
have a
scaling.
we have a reconnect coming in from Misfortune, so hopefully we'll be back into the game here shortly. And we can get back to this lovely action and probably likely a pretty secure victory from the side of Butter Our Biscuit.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Apparently, we have someone taking a bathroom break during the set pause.
Oh gosh. Interesting timing.
Good stuff, because it's totally not 1 in the morning, and I totally don't want to go to bed.
Oh wait, yeah, it is 1 in the morning there. I'm in Texas, so it's a little earlier for me.
Texas?
Nice.
You're from Texas?
Yep. Unfortunately. This is such a weird state that we live in, or that I live in.
Hey, man. From Michigan. It's a weird ass state too.
Oh, so you live in the state that Betsy DeVos did her trial run of her education in.
In a way.
Gosh.
I am well aware of Grand Rapids, which is literally just has the name all over it because fuck that. But I'm more impressed with Donald Trump's response to Gretchen Whitmer, our governor, and how he is literally withholding life-saving medical products from the state because she was quote unquote mean to him.
Interesting. I had not heard.
Gotta love a president literally punishing a state because there's a Democrat in charge and he's a petty bastard.
Everyone watching the stream, get out there and vote. Get out there and do your civic duty. Yes, this is
200 years of game development. Oh, they're ready!
They're ready.
Hooray!
Good
Let's
deal.
get back into it. Let's go. Poggity pog.
Good deal. Alright, should be unpausing fairly soon. So, what way do you think, if any, level 18 is getting back into this one?
So I think it's definitely going to be solely on the back of. Right? I think we've seen Jabberwock show some to maybe stay in lane a little bit too long, or maybe Jarvan, overextend or fish for some where he shouldn't be. And if those plays continue and happen during some prime objective times, like around Elder Drake or anything like that, it's definitely a way for level 18 to get back in this game.
So we're looking for catch outs then. We're just looking to catch them
Absolutely.
out before an objective. Oh, stream lag. Stop at
Yeah, there
35.
was for me too. Are you 35?
Not yet.
32. Okay, I'm gonna pause at 35.5.
Okay. Yeah. So we're looking for him to catch out members of Butter or Biscuits.
Are you 35.05?
Not quite. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
It just unlagged for me. There we are. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Got it. As they're just sweeping some vision right now, as they probably look to prepare for Elder Drake to spawn. But they do have Baron buffs, so I'm interested to see if they decide to push with it.
Over 1,000 damage on the crit from Misfortune. Let that
Classic.
sink in. 1,000
Classic.
damage on one auto.
Classic.
Insane.
It is against a minion with very little resistance to his, but
Fair.
still gonna smack and hurt these squishy champs on the side of level 18
Yeah.
quite a bit as well.
Absolutely. So we look, they're just pushing in with the Baron buff. They're doing it the smart way. They're not trying to overextend. They're not trying to force anything. They're just letting the Baron buff do its job.
Is that the play you would go for here, though? They have Baron buff and 12,000 gold lead. Why are they playing it safe?
I think because the team was split up, I think what they might be doing is trying to set up, what they're doing right now is they're setting up the split pressure with the Mordekaiser top, and they were just waiting on him to get there so that they could kite back and get to this Elder Drake. It looks like they're going for a cheese in the bush.
And definitely a big hook as Apocalypse gets rooted up here and is actually going to egg form here from Juice Man following up with the ultimate. But he doesn't have the damage by himself right now, but the team follows up and put enough long range damage onto it to kill the Anivia as the Elder directly spawns with Jabberwock pushing the top lane. It looks like they may just have this. But go ahead, sorry.
No, definitely. It looks like they're trying to set up that split pressure so that they can get this Elder for free and just seal this game off once and for all.
They look for an all-in onto Jabberwock, but again, Jabberwock has a full shield here. Takes somebody in the Delph round, but a steal attempt coming out as it doesn't go perfectly well as Jabberwock kills the support on the side of there, and with the Elder Drake, gets some bois. They get the 4 kills. Probably just going to walk down mid lane, and this is definitely going to be game 2 right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Really well executed from the side of Butter or Biscuits. Having a 13-9 Mordekaiser just holding his own in the top lane against however many champions they decide to send his way. And they can just do that. It looks like he's got 5,000
there's a dive coming onto the Anivia, but there's a bois immediately for Cassiopeia, and it looks like we're probably going to see something similar onto this Porous Apocalypse as there's a double kill coming out from Killing Panda. It's just a really bloodthirsty game. Just really tons of kills, over a kill per minute from coming up from the side of Butterbeer Biscuits as they pick up the win, pick up the series win, and let's just talk about series MVP real quick, and we'll get a vote going, and maybe we'll have a short interview afterwards.
I think I'm gonna go with Flydrate on this one. I really want to give it.
ADCs can't win MVP.
I know ADCs cannot win MVP, but he had such a strong showing, and if we look here at the damage graphs, it looks like he did not win. He did not win.
Jabberwock was just
both games. Jabberwock won.
Yep.
Both games. Jabberwock won. That's really impressive. I love it. Let me make this real quick.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make the case for Jabberwock here. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he died way more than he needed to this game. Admittedly, some of the early ones, for sure, he was getting ganked a lot, and those were one for ones. But there's a lot of times when he was drawing the split pressure that the team was doing something away from him that he needed he needed to recognize when people were off the map and back off. Versus and he gave up a lot of kills when that was going on. But overall, I think he found some strong picks that game. Really got a lot of split push pressure. While he didn't execute it perfectly, it definitely gave his team a lot of free objectives. And again, both games, highest damage in the game, highest level in this game,
Bio,
and
yeah,
highest gold in this game too. Definitely putting on his carry pants and doing a great job. So
absolutely. I guess we're just gonna have to let this straw poll tell us.
Oh, but OG
who's
Juice
deserved
Man, the ghost, my man, the
it.
Juice winning right now with
With
3 votes. 2
3 votes.
votes coming out for Jabberwock and Flydrate right now. We'll see who ends up winning.
Yeah, it's neck and neck right now. It's anybody's
But
game.
let's talk about Juice Man since he's got the most votes right now. Definitely strong performance on the Garrett or on the Jarvan both times. Solid engage, good jungle control. They had immaculate objective pressure. Now that can be said that maybe that's just kind of like the state of the game, but still well done by him to maintain those, and actually had some really clutch smites because I don't think there's a single time that especially during those early games and for some of those like late game objectives too, that Labby wasn't at least in the pit for a chance to smite. And Juice Man coming down and picking up those smites and making sure that his team got the objectives. So
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely. I've been on a team with Labby, and I'll tell you, when I was playing on his team, the amount of times I looked up to the top of my screen and looked at your team has stolen and then whatever objective it was. And it's because he just gets in there and with no regard for his own safety, he just goes in and steals it and gives that buff to the rest of the team. And it's really, something I've known him to do really, really well, and to be able to outsmite someone who steals all the time. And I believe OG Juiceman is
yeah, I'm
newer
gonna go
to the
ahead and call.
jungle,
I
no?
think we can call. Yeah, he is definitely, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it and say that OG Juice Man is our MVP. So if you want to join us in the player of the game chat one, we will go ahead and have a quick interview, as well as if Labby wants to come up here as well, we can have an interview with you as well. And good game to both teams, and hopefully we'll talk to you here soon. Alrighty. So hopefully we'll get them here shortly.
Yeah.
And if there's any questions we have in the chat, if you guys want to go ahead and post right now, definitely be happy to pass them along. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have a good interview here.
I see
So
22
welcome.
viewers, so we better have several questions from chat.
Yeah, and Biscuit Hat, I forgot to invite the other captain up. And thank you for coming up here as well. Appreciate it. Well played to your team. Do you know if Labby's going to be joining as well? Or
Not sure, actually. Let's see. Is he? Doesn't look like he's on Discord.
Yeah, I don't know where I don't know. I think maybe they all just kind of left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna message him right now.
Well,
See what he says. We can go
well
ahead
played.
and kick this off if you want.
Yeah, so he left apparently, so let's just go ahead and kick this off. Well played. I think pretty strong showing from your team, both games.
Oh, thank you.
It had its moments. Oh, hey Labby, good games. Welcome. Just want to walk. First thing I want to ask about is pick ban, because I walked myself through this, like, generally comparatively to pro games, and then obviously our games as well. The pick ban is so different.
Yeah,
right?
really good analysis.
Our league love to pick bot lane and jungler first round every single time, no matter which side you're on. And to me, the ideal strat is picking jungle and bot lane's okay on red side, but it's not great on blue side because you don't have the ability to counter pick. It's good on blue side to take advantage of the first pick by locking in a strong flex pick, like Set, or Swain or whoever on your team you think is a strong flex pick, right? So walk me through going into it why both games you think Leona was first pick and why you specifically both teams decided to prioritize picking your support first.
Levy, you can go first if you want.
Sure. I mean, I can tell you first, it came down to like one thing. We knew Joe would pick it if we left it up and not Nautilus, basically. You knew we went in the order of Nautilus, Leona, essentially. And we kind of wanted that to be like the first pick. So in that sense, we got what we wanted, I guess, out of the draft there. It's just game 2, it was more about like keep it out of our hands, as well as Siren felt like he was comfortable playing it. And we were kind of doing that, like that swap with our top laner and support in game 2. So that's sort of why that happened there.
Okay, so Pisca, why in game 1 were you? Is it just because you felt really comfortable on the champ? And
Yeah, I think game 1 we were looking back at the previous pick ban with Labby's team because we faced Labby pretty recently, and we noticed that the Leona was like one of the most like contested picks. I think it was like banned both times.
okay,
And so when we saw that it was left up, we said, "Oh, let's just pick that, and then we'll pick MF." And then we kind of actually, our coach Jabber, he said that we were kind of trolling because we should have picked the MF first.
mm-hmm.
So I think, Nate, you're kind of right.
I think getting a power pick wherever it is, and I think the power picks that are smart to take are power picks that are either in the bot lane, because it's honestly, when you're talking like counter matchups, it's really difficult to find a true counter matchup in the bot lane comparatively to the solo lanes,
Mhm.
where so you can, or a flex pick, right? That's a power pick like Set. Because if you lock in those champs that are either a power pick in like your ADC thing or your flex pick, it's tough for the enemy team who has the ability to counter pick to take advantage of that. So that's just my 2 cents. But it ended up working out. I think it's also kind of like a thing of the it kind of just like speaks to the league, the fact that like we're not pro players. We don't just pick what the best meta champions are. So we don't like, so there isn't like these just like our priority picks aren't these actual like top tier priority picks. They're what our teams prioritize and think are good for us. So OG Juice Man winning the series MVP. Well done. What going into this? I know you don't play a ton of jungle. What were you practicing? Like, you had some clutch smites, and kind of like neither of us thought you were going to win it. So why do you think you won it?
I don't know.
Great, thanks.
No, like so I'm a tank player, and so I like to play beefier. I mean,
Tanky.
Zach, J4.
Come on, do it.
But I knew I had a little bit more pressure to do some damage, and so I thought, well, okay, and then I'll play the J4. I know it's kind of a contested pick, and he's just so mobile. Like, you can just be like, I love.
It's like, hey, I hear you. I hear you think I'm CC'd, but I guess I'm not CC'd, including Cassiopeia. I just get a dash anyway because apparently, I didn't know this, but like the reason why that works is because a root or a ground is coded in the system as a root that lets you move, right? And since Jarvan can use his flag and drag root, he can use his flag and drag through grounded.
Well, there you go.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Interesting. So I was a little curious, changing part of this question is like, how did you change your approach to pick ban going into the second game? But a little bit more pointed is, why did y'all leave the misfortune up that second game?
I mean, our bot lane, I guess, doesn't worry. Like, generally, if you watch a lot of our pick bans, I'd say I'm really only against like one team, and that's Riley's team. I'd say that we actually were like banning too much in the bot lane, and that's not just because like, with the exception of the champs, we don't play like straight up like Aphelios, that in our opinion is just super strong and we don't play it. Other than that, we kind of like are just like whatever with what we leave up in the bot lane. I think so. That was, I guess, like our concern there is
Okay.
we weren't really that worried about it, I guess, in the bot
Gotcha.
lane. So.
Well, well played to both of you. We're not getting any questions in the chat. So
I found one question, and this one is
okay, go ahead.
specifically
Okay.
for Biscuit
Oh,
Hat here.
true.
Which one of the kills did you enjoy stealing the most?
So like I was telling Kevin, I think it was the fourth or fifth one where Kevin was dying from the Cassiopeia, and I saw like that Kevin had just autoed, and I knew that the Cassiopeia had like a sliver of health left, and I had my E up, which is like the circle, like
Yeah. The Riptide.
Riptide. And so I was like, you know what? I could steal the kill and make sure Kevin lives, or I could pray that Kevin could get the auto in and he maybe stays alive. So I E'd and stole the kill, and Kevin was still alive. So I think it was, like I said, that fourth or fifth one. Oh, they're spamming the Joe Megalos in chat. I love to
I'd
see
say
it.
one more comment, I guess, about the banning phase from the first to the second game is we were really more concerned about the Kennen because it had
True.
destroyed us not just this week but the week prior that Joe was talking about as well. So
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
it's more of like a constant threat from the team.
Apparently he's calling you on your shit, Joe. He died.
Well, you know what? You know
You
what?
just stole that kill because you wanted to steal it.
Maybe. Can't confirm or deny.
Honestly, you like
check the tapes.
Watching you play Nautilus reminds me a lot of when I play him, because like so many flash hooks forward, just so greedy, but it pays out and it works out in your favor. Like it's like you don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I think I did a lot better this. Something we've been working on is tracking summoner spell time cooldowns, and so we did really well, like a good job of tracking them. So I feel like when I did flash hook forward, I knew that whoever I was flash hooking didn't have flash. So
right,
definitely.
Yeah.
What are the other things? And this is something I brought up during the game, and I wanted to ask you about. Did you feel at all like having that 1,000 gold bounty on your head that you were limited in how much you could just like go in and CC people like you're supposed to with Nautilus? Because there were some fights where I saw you really had to back off really far, and it worked out because y'all had like at one point a 15,000 gold lead, like it was insane. But
yeah, so I think I hit like 7 kills, and we just like barely like lived. I lived like 100
you were
HP
low. You were low
out of a team fight, and I hit tab, and I saw Labby was like Labby. I remember I think you were like running me down, and I was like, why would Labby be doing this? And then I realized I had this 700 gold bounty, and we were kind of like, we just kind of thought it was like funny that the support has a 700 gold bounty. And so after that, that's when I started like really playing back, and that's when I really was like self-conscious about it. But yeah, if you just quick tidbit here: if you're playing tank and engage supports, you want to build Knight's Vow. You want to build Gargoyle Stone Plate. The health you get from Knight's Vow really synergizes well with gargoyles, makes you like an unkillable tank. If you're trying to climb as a support player right now, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That gargoyle is just too strong right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I was surprised you didn't rush it.
So a lot of pro players, they rush it right now, but I don't know. For me, I feel like you just don't have a lot of health, so you don't really get a lot from activating it early.
It's
Like, you
also
don't get as
honestly
much.
not as good to rush anymore since of stopwatch, so it doesn't actually benefit from having the like additional cooldown reduction on its active anymore. So it's still a great item to get, but I don't think it's a immediate rush anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's something I've noticed too. Is like now we're sort of getting a little bit off topic and into like how I play, but like I don't build enough health on Nautilus. I just build the resistances, and that's something I've noticed. So good on you for getting that Knight's Vow early, making your resistances more useful.
Yep.
Well, I think we should probably cut this interview. Good game to both sides.
Yeah, great game
Well
to
played.
your
Absolutely.
Joe's team for real. You guys really played well.
Thanks,
GG.
man. Really appreciate it.
GG's.
All right.